Hello, it is Tina Clark, computer teacher. I am just making sure that we are recording here, and it looks like we are. Today is July 24th, 2020, but you will probably see this video a few days later. Well, we are going to start another topic, and our topic is going to be wildfires. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Wildfires. A wildfire is a fire in wild land areas, not cities, that is out of control. It can be started by lightning, but many times a wildfire is caused by people being careless. Yeah, maybe people starting a campfire if they're camping in a forest and they don't put it all the way out, or maybe somebody throws out a burning cigarette into the forest. So that's what we're going to talk about, is wildfires. And I know that most of us don't live like out in a forest, but sometimes we might go camping and be in a forest, in a wooded area or a wild area. We are also going to, in the same set of videos, talk about fire safety, like in your home and on your property or here at school. So we are going to apply it to ourselves and not just talk about what's out in the wild. But let's start out with wildfires. And you can see in that picture, look, that is a forest and it is on fire. Those trees are on fire, and those deer that are in the water better get out of there. Well, let's keep going here. The main time of year for wildfires in the United States is from June through September. So we're in that season right now. We are going to learn about wildfires, and we'll also be learning about fire safety. And this is a map from 2015 that just showed the fire danger that particular year. You know, and we live here in South Dakota, so it's not like we have lots of forests. There are forests out in the Black Hills, of course, but there are more deeper, denser forests, bigger forests out west here, and it just showed some of the areas on this map that had high fire danger that year. Okay, so we are going to use a Trueflix book to read about wildfires. And we're going to get this book by going through the South Dakota State Library website. And I'm going to show how to do that. All links will be in the description of my video for you to click on. So this link that I show you to the South Dakota State Library will be in the description of my video. So here we go. Trueflix is a set of books kind of geared more toward middle school, maybe high school. I'm going to scroll down and find it. This is the list for student research for elementary school, and of course you can use it for, you know, elementary or middle or high school. And, you know, we've used Bookflix before with some stories. Well, we're going to go down now to what's called Trueflix. And these are more like nonfiction books about different facts. So you can see that, you know, people, places, history, science and nature, you know, U.S. regions, U.S. government, my United States, Civil War. Then over on the right, animal kingdom, disasters, experiments, extreme science, human body, health, and more topics. We are going to get into extreme nature. And within each topic, there are these books that you can read about, and we are going to get into wildfires. So this is a true book. It is a true factual nonfiction book. There's a video here. I'm not going to show it because it does not appear well in my screen capture program. So you can watch that video that talks about wildfires and why do wildfires spread so quickly, it says. To get the truth, watch the video, then read the book. We're going to go right into the book. So here we go. These books will read aloud for you if you want, but I will read the book for you today. And I hope it comes up okay. Sometimes it can be kind of slow. So we'll just see what happens here. I think I'm going to just try it one more time here. There we go. Okay, so you can have it again read to you, and you can make it full screen. And let's go ahead and make it full screen. And we'll just start turning the page. I'm not going to read everything, so I'm going to skip to the page I want to start on, but you could get into this book and read the whole thing. There's the table of contents that lists the topics, and I am going to skip on to what is a wildfire? Wildfires are part of the normal life cycle of some forests and grasslands. Many are caused by natural events such as lightning. Most wildfires burn themselves out before they reach towns or cities. However, a small number of them can become very destructive, and they can go to towns or cities or destroy homes. They may burn too hot, or they may spread from wildlands to places where people live. And here's a picture of some trees burning. Trees can explode if the water in their wood turns to steam very quickly. That does sound very dangerous. Starting fires. Wildfires usually start when the weather is hot and dry. When it doesn't rain for a long time, grasses and bushes get very dry. They can catch fire easily, starting what is called a surface fire or a brush fire. Although lightning causes many of these fires, others are started by people. Burning trash or campfires can start wildfires. Cigarettes, sparks from machines, and fireworks are other causes. And it gives a fire triangle, the three things that you need to get a fire burning and keep a fire burning. You need oxygen, which is the air that we breathe. You need heat, like a match or lightning, and you need fuel, anything that burns. And in the case that we're talking about today, it could be trees or bushes or grasses. So yeah, a brush fire can burn grasses, bushes, and dead branches. Clearing out dead leaves and trees can make forests healthier, but if there's too much fuel, the fire will grow too big. The top layer of foliage, and if you click on it, it gives a definition. Foliage just means leaves. The top layer of foliage on the trees will start burning, and this is called a crown fire, a wildfire that reaches the top branches of trees and spreads rapidly. It spreads from the top of one tree to the next. If a wildfire gets hot enough and big enough, it turns into a firestorm. Firestorms are so powerful that they make their own weather. They suck in air and create high winds. These winds can carry embers more than half a mile ahead of the fire. Smoke from a really large fire can reach thousands of feet into the air. Firestorms can even start tornadoes made of fire, called fire whirls. And let's see if I can escape here to my PowerPoint. I do have a video that I do want you to watch of a firestorm in August of 2012 in Oklahoma. And I will play a little bit of it, but again, it will look much better on your device. So we're going to see what a firestorm looks like. It's pretty scary. Firestorm, Manford, Oklahoma.
Firestorm, west of Manford. Super firestorm now, underway.
Now, I'm going to pause it because I want you to watch it. That sound that you heard is the sound of the fire, going to the trees and lighting them on fire. And that man in the video, he's kind of like a storm chaser. And so this is not something you should be doing. A person really should not even be where he is. But I did want to show you what a firestorm looks like. So you make sure to watch it. It's not very long, but it is pretty interesting. Okay, let's get back into Trueflix, I should say, Trueflix. Famous fires. Yellowstone National Park is one of the largest parks in the United States. It is larger than the states of Rhode Island and Delaware combined. In June of 1988, a few wildfires started in the park. At first, the National Park Service was not concerned. People thought that rain would soon put out the fires. Do you think that happened, or do you think the fires continued? What do you think? In 1988 in Yellowstone, do you think that the fires were put out quick, or do you think that the fires kept going? Let's find out. Hot, dry, and windy. After 5 years of very wet summers, the summer of 1988 was the driest on record in Yellowstone. By July, it was clear that the National Park Service needed to put out the fires. More than 9,500 firefighters came from all over the country. Wow, that's a lot of firefighters. Some parachuted in from planes. Other planes flew over the park dumping water. The government sent 4,000 soldiers to help. However, the fires continued to spread. Yeah. So, the answer to my question on the last page is that the fires continued and got worse. Strong winds made the fires burn hotter and move faster. Soon, firestorms raged all over Yellowstone. And remember, I showed you that video that you can watch of a firestorm. Embers blew from the tops of tall trees to start new fires up to 1 mile away. All summer and into the fall, the firefighting teams battled the flames. Almost half of the huge park burned. The fires were just too big and too powerful to stop. Yellowstone recovers. In September, rain and snow began to slow the spread of fires. However, it was only in November, with winter weather, that the fires stopped burning completely. That's a long time for a fire to burn. Despite the massive firefighting effort, the fires raged until nature stopped them. And look, there's a picture of what the trees looked like after they burned. A few months after the fire in Yellowstone, some plants were growing lushly. Ash is good for the soil, and small plants get more sunlight when they are not in the shade of tall trees. The following spring, trees and other plants started growing again. Most of the animals that had lived in the park came back. 20 years later, the park was almost the same as it was before the terrible 1988 fires. So, a fire can be good for wild areas, forests, because it can promote new growth. Even though it destroys some trees, it can promote new growth. But a fire can also be bad if it starts to go into areas where there's homes and cities. So, let's see here. What I want you to do is watch another video here. And this is a video about the Yellowstone fires of 1988 that I just described. And it's not really letting me click on the link here, so hang on just 1 minute. I don't know why it's not letting me, but it's not. So just a second. There we go. There, I have it. Okay, so Yellowstone Aflame DVD. So it's actually a DVD you can buy. And, you know, it might sound a little bit old because, you know, it was probably made back when the fires were. I'm just going to show a few seconds.
The morning began with winds up to 70 miles per hour, blowing down trees, grounding aircraft, and sending immense waves of searing flame hundreds of feet into the air, spreading fires at an astonishing rate. At night, decreased temperatures cause most wildfires to lie down, giving firefighters time to contain critical situations.
I'll pause it because it will show up much better in your device. So you make sure to watch that. I will have the link to that. And this video is getting kind of long, but we will continue to finish the Trueflix book in the next video and continue talking about wildfires and eventually get into fire safety. I will see you in the next video.